Hello everyone, welcome. Our first online Pilates course. I asked you to find some makeshift props. So if you actually have props, that's great. Use them as needed. And just like every class, we don't always use props, sometimes more. The tennis balls, that might have been confusing. So if you have some kind of a thinner sock, mine's a little bit thick, but you'll put the tennis ball on one end and then the second tennis ball in. And as you put it in, it'll stay, right, if the sock has got enough elastic. And we use this for rolling because I'm going to assume most of you don't have a roller. So having it open, not tied, we can use one ball at a time. And I'll show you in subsequent classes how to do that. For today, let's just use one ball if you have it. If you don't, you can actually use the corner of a brick, a little bit more information right to your body. It's pointier, it's stronger than this feeling of a soft round ball. So let's come onto our backs, please. Have your ball or anything like that. And of course, because it's a video, you can stop it. I have some weights handy. You could even maybe put that right in the end of your weight instead of the ball. Now taking your ball, lie on your back, lift your hips up and just slide that ball. This is my dog Ryder, and he thinks that's his toy that I'm playing with. So you're going to place the ball right under the meaty part of your right buttock and then lean into the ball. You can move around a little bit, side to side, you can go up and down. If there's a tight spot, linger, hold there for a few breaths. So your mind-to-body practice is great for times of stress. Everybody's life has been changed, right? We don't have the liberties that we're used to having and the interactions with people that we need. So it helps to have something that settles your nervous system. All of the worry that we have drains our ability to heal. So our immune system is compromised when we're under pressure, when we're under stress. And most of it is the mental fatigue. A lot of that we can address. It's not easy, but it can be addressed. A couple more breaths, maybe find a different spot. So this will be more focused attention than our roller, which just obviously would take more time to hit those larger areas. A couple more breaths. If you find a tight or sticky part, hold there, see if you can relax through it. And then coming onto your back, set the ball aside for a moment and extend your legs. And see if you can feel any difference one side to the other. It's always okay if you don't feel anything, but good to pay attention. And then let's switch. Put the ball right at the corner. If it was a brick, you could put the corner of the brick. Right? You could take a weight, kind of lean in. Relax your breathing. You kind of use this first class to check out your space. Do you have enough room? Do you have props? Are you able to isolate enough that you feel comfortable and not distracted? A big part of this mind-body practice, instead of just the physical focus of strength, might become the ability to work through distraction. So some folks have written to me that there's no place to be, the house is full, people are on the TV, sharing a room with someone else. Enjoy a few more breaths, look for a sticky spot. Pay attention to the sides. So most of us will have asymmetry in the body and we'll feel tighter, stronger on one side or the other. Notice what that is for you. My tendency on the side that's tighter or less strong, I'll try to give it more attention. Try to allow it time to catch up for balance. If not, right, I would tend to work the side that I enjoy most, that's easier, that I can do more on, but then the other side can't ever really catch up, right? We can't balance that out. 2 more breaths. Remember, you can lean, I'm leaning a lot of weight, all of my weight is on that left gluteal and ball. I could set my hips down and put a lot less weight if needed. And then releasing the ball. Extend your legs. Rest your arms comfortably at your sides. And just feel. You might feel more blood flow, energy, maybe heat around your gluteal muscles. And then bending the knees one by one, bring both thighs into your chest. And as you do that, feel the back flatten into the floor. So that's called a gentle imprint, when the whole back is connected and rooted down. Rock side to side with the knees together. And then place one hand on each shin, circle the knees separately, moving more into the hip socket. Switch the direction. Then bringing both knees into the chest, relax your arms out. And if your space is limited, take a cactus position. So I'm bending my elbows, the back of the hand is on the floor, and the upper arm is straight out from the shoulder. Keeping your knees a little closer towards your chest. Exhale and drop the knees over to the right. And just relax your shoulders. Couple deep breaths. Then drawing the legs back through to center, switch to the second side. When you twist, you can always take a moment to line your hip and your head. And that would just involve scooting your hips to the right a bit, in this case, dropping your knees to the left. Keep your right shoulder down. You can even add a little bit of neck work by turning your gaze away from your knees. Take a couple more deep breaths. Allow your body and your mind to start to settle into your space, into your practice. Then bringing everything back into center. Hug both thighs into your chest. And this time circle the knees together. Notice that that feels different than the 2 circlings we did prior. Switch the direction. And then relaxing your arms back in that cactus position, or goalpost arms. Bring your shins up into a tabletop position. Flex your feet. And again, feel, let the knees come a little closer. Feel that you've imprinted your spine, so your back is fully flat. Hold that for a moment. And then bring your knees away so that the thigh is more vertically aligned over the hip socket. And feel you might have a little space at your low back. So you always have 2 choices. You can always imprint, be flat if that feels more stable for you. If you're comfortable working in neutral, ribs have to stay down. Remember, if that doesn't happen, I would grab your blanket, grab a pillow, and put something under your head so that your ribs stay down. These 2 are connected. My head's up. I might be able to get this position. I want my chin down. I want my ribs down. So figure out what works for you. Back of the neck is long. And then we'll work with a heel tap without changing the pelvic position. Ribs stay down. Exhale, bring your right heel to the floor. Inhaling to bring it back up, and exhale to switch sides. Inhaling, exhale, move. Inhale, come back, and exhale, go away. Use your breath. Make sure that the only thing moving is that leg. The bend in the knee stays exactly the same. One more on each side. Stabilizing the core and just moving the legs. Bring your legs together. If that went well, drop your ribs down. Create that nice imprint or neutral position. Exhale, let the legs come together. Bring them back up. Play with how low you can go before things lift off the floor. For this one, imprinting, a slight pelvic tilt backwards or posterior might allow you to go a little further. If that's way too much, go back to the single leg, always an option. 4 more, please. So always remember, if you can place your abdominals, your spine in neutral, your abdominals will have a lot better chance of stabilizing. After this next one, bring your knees into your chest. Take a couple deep breaths. Feel free to rock or move or just hold still. Then place your right ankle in front of your left thigh. And this is a great time to prop your head if you haven't already. Flex both feet. Pull forward towards your chest with your left leg, press away with your right, and just relax your arms. 2 more breaths. Then placing your left foot down on the floor, grab the bottom of your right foot and bring that right knee over towards your right armpit. If you can't quite reach there, fine to use your forearm on the back of your hamstring. If you can reach, pull down with one or both hands. Try to get the knee closer over towards your shoulder and then the shin more vertically aligned over that knee. Take another breath. And this is Priya. She'll probably join us occasionally as well. And then extend your right leg straight up to the ceiling. And this is, of course, where you can use the strap. Be careful if you have a buckle, right? Hit yourself in the face. It doesn't feel good. I've done that before. If you're comfortable here, you'll straighten your left leg. Point and flex your right toes. Take your time. And then circle at your ankle. Switch the direction. And then extend out through your heel. Look at your leg and rotate the whole leg out externally. So the thigh, the knee, the shin, and the foot look more towards the right. Ground your left thigh down, and with an exhale, bring your right leg over towards your right shoulder. Take a couple deep breaths. Take the inhale to draw the leg back to center. Point your toes. Relax your arms along your sides and create some small leg circles. If this is way too much for you, you can bend the knee and create some bent knee circles. Another variation would be to bend that left knee, put the foot on the floor. Nice and smooth. Only thing moving is your leg. Switch the direction. Release the circling, flex your foot, externally rotate, bring the leg over towards the right shoulder. Big press out through both heels. Keep moving through. Keep moving through. Then drawing the leg up to center, keep your pelvis on the ground and just bring the leg across so you feel some tension maybe in your outer hip and thigh. Sacrum is still down. Leg is straight. IT band stretch. Try to push out through the bottom of the foot. Then taking your inhale back to center. Keep pressing out through your heel. Exhale and slowly lower the leg down. Continue to stretch out through the heel. Pause once the leg is down. Feel any difference? And then let's switch to the second side. Place your left ankle in front of the right thigh. No arms, so let this be about your legs. Rest your arms alongside. Press out through the bottoms of both feet. They're flexed. And ideally, if you can, instead of pulling your toes back so the top of your foot is really tight, try to extend your toes straight up. Just create a nice arch in your foot. Pull forward with that right leg. Check the position of your ribs, drop them down. Check your head position. Then placing that right foot down, half of the happy baby pose. Reach for the bottom of your left foot, pull down. Remember your variation. You could even use a strap here. Notice the side might feel different. For me, it's my tighter side. So when a body part is tight, you'll notice another part will start to adjust to make space. So you might notice your ribs start to pop up. See if you can relax those down, keep your head supported. And then extend that leg straight up to the ceiling. If you're comfortable enough, the right leg straightens on the floor, left leg straight up. Then begin to point and flex. Feel free to use your strap. Circle at the ankle. Try to spread your toes as you work your foot, your ankle. Switch the direction. And flexing your foot, rotate the whole thigh externally. So you're rotating the leg externally in the hip socket. Then you are bringing the leg away from center. Abduction, moving away. Extend out through both heels. Then drawing the leg back to center, ground your right thigh down. Remember, you can bend the knee if needed. Point your toes, rest your arms, small leg circles. So work on the control. So we create an alignment that's appropriate. We start to control the movement. We time the movement, use the breath. Switch the direction. Build stamina the more we practice. Then release the circling, extend the leg, externally rotate, abduct the leg again, bring it back out to the side. Make sure you're not too close to the wall. Hold for a breath. Then drawing the leg up through center, IT band stretch. Keep the leg strong and straight without lifting your pelvis, your sacrum. Bring the leg across the midline. Push out through the bottom of the foot. And the strap, if you're using it, you could put the strap in your right hand. Hold for another breath. Then drawing the leg back up through center, press up through your heel. Take your time to lower the leg down. Then once the leg is fully down, stretch your arms up overhead, press out through your heels. Be mindful of your ribs. So a lot of times we'll end up here, drop your ribs down. Then bending both knees, bring both thighs into your chest. Take a breath. And then coming into a tabletop position with your shins again, bring your knees in so you're in a full imprint. So small movement towards your chest, back is fully flat. Arms back in that goalpost position. Take an exhale, bring your knees halfway over to the right. Look at your knees, make sure they're still stacked. If you're able, you'll straighten your left leg. Knees are still together. Bend the knee again, come back to center. Keeping the shoulders down, exhale, switch sides. So you have to lift that left knee up a little higher. Extend the leg. Bend the knee and come back to center. Use your breath, exhale, twist it over. Extend. Bending the knee, coming back, keep your knees glued. If you're comfortable, both legs can extend. So your boundary, your alignment, keeping your shoulders down. Use your breath. Exhale as you twist. One more set. And then once you're back to center, bend both knees, hug them in, this time widening out towards your armpits. Take a breath. And then full happy baby. Take your arms from the inside, grab the outer edges of your feet and push down with your arms. If that's way too much, right from the outside, gentle drawing down. Be mindful of your ribs, drop them down. Then releasing, draw the knees together, release any props, and then use your thighs to help you easily roll up to seated. And then once you're up in that position, let's do a little bit of rolling. Hello, little girl. You're going to have to move a little bit so I don't hit you. There. Okay. Drop your chin down. Create a comfortable space, thighs to chest, and try to keep that. Back of the neck is long, so you want to keep that chin drawn in, a little scoop. And do a little bit of rolling. Do your best to smooth it out. Continue. Do 3 more. And then the next time you're in upright position, so we use that scoop position for, we call it an abdominal series. So we'll do a couple of those on our back. Once you're up seated again, feet are down, drop your chin down, ribs are back. Let's start by grabbing the right leg, and I'll support the outer shin and the inner knee. Curl your chin towards your chest, roll down, shoulder blades touch, extending your left leg, double pulse in, and then switch sides. Strong legs. Remember, if need be, you could support your head. You could even prop. Single leg stretch. And then if you're comfortable, we'll straighten the leg. Single straight leg stretch. Two more. Knees in, release, rest your arms, rock gently. Place your feet down, windshield wipe. Come back to center. Create an imprint, ribs down, knees come a little closer to your chest. Back is fully connected into the floor. Relax your arms back in that goalpost position, and let's work with frog. Bring your knees wide, your feet stay together. Knees come as close to you as they're able. As you exhale, extend the legs out straight, so harder, lower. Easier to be up higher, you choose. Bending the knees again, then widen feet, stay together. Exhale and extend. Use your breath. Exhale as you move away. Creating the alignment, the foundation, controlling the movement, steadying the breath. Three more. Feet to the floor. Windshield wipe. And let's do one more in this position. Extend your legs straight up to the ceiling. For this one, interlace your fingers at the base of your skull. And when you do that, keep your elbows comfortably wide. So they don't have to flatten all the way back. Just don't pull them in. So comfortably wide, back of the neck is long. Lift your head and shoulders up off the mat. And this is a double straight leg stretch. As you exhale, lower the legs a little or a lot. Draw them back up to center and exhale to lower. You can bend the knees and bring them up if that's more manageable. Focus on that stability, creating that imprint. Play with how low you can go without lifting your ribs or tipping your pelvis away from the floor. 3 more. Upper body down, hug the legs in. Bring the bottoms of the feet together, reach between your legs. Draw the feet in, press the knees wide. Couple deep breaths. Then bringing your knees together, rock yourself up to seated. And let's transition over into table. Spread your fingers wide once you're there, and let's just work the hands. So ideally, my thumbs are extended away from the rest of the fingers, comfortably wide. Have your hands under your shoulders, your knees back under your hips. And then from here, just start to rock the weight of the body side to side, kind of like you're walking. And then as you do that, turn the fingers out a little bit. Kind of walk the hands around. If you're able to turn the hands fully back towards your thighs, from there relax your shoulders down, maybe a soft bend in the elbow. Breath or 2. You can even peel yourself back slowly, keeping your elbows bent. Fingertips are still down. I'm trying to create a nice vertical palm. And then my fingers are back behind that vertical line. Then take your hands, flip them over, back of the hand to the floor. Relax your shoulders. Slide some weight back. Then releasing your hands, spread your fingers wide. Have your hands under your shoulders, your knees back under your hips. Cat-cow, start from your tailbone. Lift your tailbone up. Inhale, extend the front body. As you exhale, curl your tailbone under, round, extend the back body. Follow your breathing. Articulating the spine. And then coming back into a neutral spinal position. Keep your shoulders down away from your ears. Push the floor away so your shoulder blades are nice and broad. Keep the ribs lifted up. You can either flatten your back a little bit, tailbone's tucked under slightly, or you can allow a little bit more of that curve. Kind of up to you and the amount of strength you have. Keep the back of the neck long. Take an inhale and extend your right arm and your left leg. Releasing back to the floor. Use your breath. Inhale and extend left arm, right leg. Keep the back of your neck long. We'll do that a few more times. Stabilizing as you lift. Try to time the movement of the arm and the leg. Feel the back is still broad. Do your best. Keep the back of your neck long. The next time you lift your right arm and your left leg, hold there. Extend, open. Exhale, curl in round. Let's do 5. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, extend. Keep the back of the neck long. Exhale and release. Spread your fingers, push the floor away, set that foundation, align your spine. Extending, left arm, right leg. Open the chest, lengthen. Exhale, curl in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, hold, press, keep the back of the neck long. As you exhale, release down. Widen your knees a bit, toes together, child's pose. Take another breath. And then come onto your forearms and let's place the palms up. Spread your fingers wide. Try to have your shoulder and elbow aligned. And then your forearms straight out, parallel to the sides of your mat. Spread your fingers wide, separate the thumbs away as much as possible. And then imagine you were trying to squeeze your tricep in towards center. A little tone in your arms. Stretch your hips back just a little. Keep your ribs up. Work to get your thumb closer to the floor. Same time you're squeezing your elbows in. And then from your stretch, let's come into a low plank pose or a forearm plank pose. Excuse me, little lady. So you'll come down onto your forearms. Have your, this is great. Elbows under your shoulders. You can interlace your fingers, you can extend your fingers, walk your knees back. So just like we've been working on setting up in neutral spine, shoulders away from ears, elbows over shoulders, pull your ribs up, and then you choose. If you need a lot of tucking, stay there. If you can create a little bit more neutral, do that. Please stay in a bent knee, low plank pose for a couple more breaths. Rest back. Adding on, low plank, set up your shape. This time straighten your legs if you're able. You can either, again, tuck more if you feel that's necessary. If you can start to release your pelvis even the tiniest bit, do that. We'll do a leg pull. So you'll lift your right leg up, press it up, it's active and strong, and then pull it down. Left side. Release. Continue. If you're working bent knee, feel free to stay there. Maybe just straighten one leg at a time. So find the right level for you. Form, alignment, much more important. Back of the neck long. Gaze is still down. Push the back of the head towards the ceiling. One more on each side. Knees down, palms up, rest back. Bring your knees together under your chest, and let's walk the arms over to the left. As you do that, keep your hips back on your heels. Lift your right shoulder up. Shoulders are square to the floor. For a little bit more, you'll place your right hand on top of your left. Come back to center. And then switch sides. Check that your hips are not moving, so keep your hips on your heels. Feel free to place now the left hand on top. Lift your left shoulder up. Come back to center. Spread your fingers wide. And let's prepare for downward facing dog. Spread your fingers. Extend your heels. Bend your left knee, press through your right heel. Switch sides. In your arms, ground your fingers. Imagine lifting your bicep towards the ceiling. Press both heels back. And come to a forward bend. Remember, there's lots of options. So full forward bend, you're here. You can grab opposite elbows, hang. If that's way too much pressure, bend your knees, grab your books, and support yourself. Take 2 more breaths. Articulate back up to standing. It's okay to bend your knees. Curl yourself up. And come to a comfortable standing position. As you stand, do your best to untuck your tailbone, to tip your pelvis forward. Drop your chin to neutral, bring your ribs back. And so this is our standing Pilates flow. So I'd like you to practice this as often as you can. Keep the back of the neck long. Oh, just a disclaimer, I have a tear in my hamstring, and I can't forward bend comfortably with straight legs. So if you can forward bend with straight legs. I will be bending my knees. Either way is perfectly appropriate. Keep your chin drawn towards your chest. Articulate down through forward bend. As you inhale, extend your arms forward, downward facing dog. Heels will be lifted slightly, that's fine. As you inhale, come forward to plank pose. Push the floor away, tone your belly, drop your knees down. Shoulders are slightly in front of wrists. 3 tricep push-ups. Bend your elbows, they hug your ribs. Everything else stays the same. Press it back, downward facing dog. Lift your biceps towards your ears. Walk your hands back. Bend your knees slightly, articulate up. Lift your arms. Exhale, curl forward. Inhale, walk forward, downward facing dog. Plank pose. Bend the knees, or if you can keep them straight with elbows in, please do. 3 to 5 tricep push-ups. Downward facing dog. Think of lifting that bicep. Rotate your arms outward or externally. Hands back to feet. Curl yourself up. Lift your arms, squeeze your ears. Exhale, curl it down. Inhale and walk forward. Downward facing dog. Exhale into plank pose. Bending the knees. Tricep dips or push-ups. And this time let's add a little extension. Release yourself all the way down. Point your toes. Lift your arms up behind. Keep the back of the neck long. Place your hands down. Pull your ribs up. Press back up. Downward facing dog. Hands back to feet. Forward bend. Modify as needed. Lengthen your neck. Inhale to rise. Lift your arms. One more. Strong plank pose. Bending. Well, that's going to be fun. On that fourth one, sit yourself down. Point your toes. Extend. Back of the neck is long. Replace your hands. Pull your ribs up. Push up. Bent knee plank or full plank. Downward facing dog. Walk your hands back to your feet. Forward bend. Two more long, deep breaths. Feel free to rock your head. You can sway your upper body. Then releasing your fingertips down to the floor, bend your knees, and let's come into a squat. So take your feet out comfortably wide, and as much as you're able, turn your toes straight ahead. So you could use your blanket. That's the one benefit of being home. You have more props available, even if they're different. You could put a blanket under your heels to start to change the shape of your feet. Don't use more than you need. Be mindful, if you're pulling your chest forward, relax your ribs back. There is a soft flexion, a rounding in the spine. Hold for 2 more breaths. Then gently set your hips down. Sit in a side saddle. So you turn your knees over to the right, have your feet to the left. Sit comfortably so you can be a lot more separate, closer together, see what works for you. Right now, I have my right toes hooked up onto the top of my left ankle. Keep the back of your neck nice and long. We'll lift the arms up, extend, and take a side bend. Right hand to the floor, extending over. Relax that right shoulder down. As you inhale, lift up the center, and exhale, switch. Good. Inhale, float back. Hi, Annie. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Try to go a little deeper. As you lift your arm, take the right arm back. Maybe start to look up. Not a lot of weight in the left hand. And then come back and switch. Take the shoulder back. One more set. Release, and let's bring the bottoms of the feet together, pressing against one another. Oops, sorry, Katie. Be mindful of your ribs. Take a breath here. And then let's switch them to find that comfortable side seat. Relax your shoulders. Let's extend the arms. As you exhale, side bend. Again, another place where you really might notice, right, the difference in tightness, one side of the hip to the other. Holding as much weight in the center as you're able. All right, so you're going. Don't you just love when your animals look at you like they love you? That's the best part. Hi, sweetie. Go one more. Stacking the shoulders, maybe looking up. Release. Extend your legs out. Shake them out. Grab something to sit on. A book would work just fine. Sit up a little higher so you can tip your pelvis to a more comfortable, neutral position. And then from there, let's bend the right knee. Take the foot on the outside of the left leg for a spinal twist. Wrapping your left arm around your right shin, twist towards your right. You could use a second block, right, or book under that right hand as you twist. Take your head back, your chin is down. Begin to turn your gaze over the right shoulder. As you turn your head, can you turn your eyes even further towards the back wall? Release back to center. Extend your leg. Sit up nice and tall. Second side. Wrap the arm around, twisting over towards the left. Take your head back. Drop your ribs down as you twist. Gaze towards the back wall, looking over that left shoulder. And then feel free to turn your eyes, just your eyes, further towards the back wall. Release back through the center. Extend your legs. Spread your toes. Place your hands on the floor. Actually, set your prop aside in case. Set your hands on the floor. Fingers turned forward on your outer hips. From that position, first choice would be bent knees, lift. A little more challenging, extend your legs. Lift your hips up. Keep the back of the neck long. Take a breath. And then release yourself down. Cross your legs. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Have a great day, and we'll see each other, I hope, again soon.